It's an honor, to be here to play the 43rd Bayou Classic. Just to have the opportunity to coach in this particular event is huge for us. Our coaching staff done an exceptional job. Very talented football team that we face at Southern University, but I thought we did an exceptional job of really slowing them down, after the first quarter, and we got a couple turnovers which helped us as well. So kudos to our team, kudos to our players, our senior class, and our coaches for the work that they put in this particular week. Question?
What were you guys able to do in the second half and just take off the way you did offensively?
Well, we did a really good job of running the football. Coach Dooley saw some things, from the way that they were lining up, in the first half, and we were able to take advantage of it. So we did a good job of running the football. Martez Carter and Justin Kelly and all those guys did an exceptional job of getting the ball in the end zone. A lot of big plays, and then Devontae did a good job of throwing the football and distributing it. So it was a pleasure to watch those guys play. We got a lot of exceptional athletes, and they were on display tonight.
Coach, talk about the defensive performance in this game. I mean, two top offenses in the conference, but you guys really had your way.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with a couple turnovers. But then, I thought our defensive line enforced their will on them, and really did a good job of making things uncomfortable for them as well. Anytime you can get them in third and long type situations, you got to find out where the receiver is. He's an exceptional player, and he operates well in space. And we did a really good job of kind of slowing him down a little bit, but he still made a lot of plays. A guy like that, you can't stop. You just got to try to corral him and tackle him and run to the football and try to limit the number of big plays that he can make.
What about Devontae's performance just overall today in the crowd?
Well, Devontae's an exceptional player. There's a reason why he was a top 5 athlete in the country coming out of high school. And, we're fortunate to have him. Just an exceptional player, and we got a lot of really good players around him, who make him really look good. So he did a good job of making great decisions, getting out of the pocket, running the football, but then also he did a good job of distributing the football and getting it in the playmakers' hands. So I'm just pleased with this football team and where they've come from 3 years ago.
Southern's defense, their strength had been against the pass all year long. Y'all went after him through the air right off the bat. Just what did you see there that other teams hadn't?
Well, I don't think it was anything that I saw. Our staff, does a good job, and we in our own right, we're a great football team when it comes to throwing the football. So it was a heavyweight fight, good on good, and our players, we feel, can pretty much face anybody when it comes to throwing the football and running the football. And I thought we did an exceptional job of really scoring. And then, the third quarter, we kind of separated ourselves and was able to run the football and allow the clock to run for us too. So, anytime we can run the football well, we're a little bit backwards. A lot of people run to throw. We throw to run. And when we get to the point where we're running the football effectively, then that means we have a lead, and that means that we're enforcing our will and we're pretty dominant.
And you always talk about how you guys throw to open up the run, but how important was it to kind of send a message that first drive out of halftime? 7 straight runs going and score a touchdown.
That was huge. That was big. We talk about momentum, and he who has the momentum, normally wins the football game. The turnovers helped us get the momentum early in the game, but then, you have to always reestablish that momentum on every drive, on every kickoff. And for the most part, we had the momentum in our favor. Other than the first drive of the game, I thought we had the momentum the entire game after that first drive when they scored and went up 6-0. But the second half is also an opportunity where you have to gain the momentum as well. And we were up, but it wasn't that much breathing room. So for us to be able to run the football and Devontae to score that run, really separated us and gave us the momentum again. Then defense did a good job of stopping them, and we were able to get it in again. So it's important for us to have momentum. And any team, when you have momentum, you have a chance.
You've used the word heavyweight fight a couple times this week, and then once again now. What did you make of y'all's ability to kind of deliver that knockout blow early in that second half?
Well, it's huge. At the end of the day, they are a really good football team with a lot of talented players, and I think we are as well. There were a lot of things that went our way. A lot of it had to do with our players and our coaching staff, so I take nothing away from Southern. Of course they made some mistakes, but part of the mistakes that were made had a lot to do with our players too. So it's just a great day for our program and for our university and for the way that our kids play on national television.
And how important was Martez's ability to add that explosive one more guy to make big plays on offense?
Well, we were flirting with the fact that he might not be able to play this weekend, but you know, he's just a tough young man. You know, he had a little slight shin injury, and you can never tell by the way he was running today. You know, just a tough young man. And when I think about where he's come from, you know, meeting him at a basketball game and him wanting to come and play football as a walk-on, and now he's one of the best players on his team. I mean, I'm very, very excited for him and what he's been able to accomplish, as is all my players, the ones that's in the room also.
A lot was made out of that Chad Williams versus Danny Johnson matchup there. What would you kind of think of how he played tonight?
Well, you know, we don't really put any stock into a matchup because Chad is one of our top one or two players on our team. So, but we have other great players that really complement him well. So, you know, if you want to focus on Chad, you know, I mean, that can get you in trouble, you know, and I think, you know, Chad, just him being on the field becomes an issue because they have to know where he is and they have to play him a little differently. I think he affects the running game as well because he takes safeties out of the box, which allows us to run into six-man boxes as opposed to safeties sticking their heads in there and being nosy. So he affects our entire offense when he's on the field, whether he's getting the ball or not. So he allows Martez and Kincaid and all these other guys to make plays just by being out there. You know, and when he's out there, he's tough to deal with.
A lot was made of this game, the magnitude. First time both teams came in undefeated. The crowd was, I guess, almost near 70,000. You think it kind of lived up to the hype in terms of both y'all going against each other? Well,
I think it did, you know, but and the reason why I say that, you know, it wasn't a nail biter, you know, by any stretch of the imagination, but anytime, you know, there's great players on the carpet on both sides of the ball, and you see Willie Quinn making plays, and you see Leonard Tillery making plays, and then you see our guys making plays, Devontae and Chad and Martez, and all these guys making plays, and Arquez. I mean, you know, that's a great event. You know, everyone wants to see, you know, great players in space running with the football, catching the football, and making plays. And I thought it was a great ticket, you know, to buy.
Big win today, obviously, but there's big games to play next. It seemed like a very business-like celebration by your guys. Do you think having won this game last year and just kind of going through the rigors again has kind of made it to where they know that this is a big win, but ultimately the goal is bigger than just this game?
Well, absolutely, and you learn something from what you go through. You know, this team, you know, has never had that opportunity to really win and win big. You know, so. It's a learning process. With any dynasty at the beginning, you know, there's learning steps along the way. You have to learn how to get off the ground first, but then secondly, you have to learn how to win and compete. And then after you learn how to compete and win, you have to learn how to accept not only adversity, but accept success as well, because you have to forget about success just like forgetting about your failures. And we went through that early this year. You know, there was a couple of games, a game in there where we played well and we didn't win the ball game. You know, because we came out the second half not being focused. But I think these guys understand that, and when you go through those type of situations, you know, experience is the best teacher. You know, and what we went through last year and what we went through early this season helped us for making sure we remain focused throughout the football game.
How did that moment feel when the guys are chanting Houston, going back to Houston? Because the talk the last year has been getting back to Houston, getting another crack at Alcorn.
Well, absolutely. You know, at the end of the day, when we started this season, and we start every season the same way, it's about winning the championship. You know, winning the conference championship. That's everyone's goal, all of the teams' goal. So we haven't accomplished that yet. You know, this is a huge event. The Bayou Classic is huge for us. But at the end of the day, you know, this is just another notch on the belt. You know, next week is what it's all about. And our kids understand it.
Coach, you made a play yourself at the end of the game. They were chasing you down. The game right, you still got it.
You saw that quickness, huh? Yeah, I'm faster than number 4.
Coach, we've talked about grades. You know, you and I have talked about grades over the years, and what grade would you give the team in this performance?
The way we played, with the intensity in which we played, I'd give us an A-. There were a couple plays that we kind of let get away defensively, but I thought we ran the ball effectively, we threw the ball well, and then in the kicking game we played well also. We nullified, you know, Willie Quinn in the kicking game, You know, that's where he makes most of his business. And, you know, his punt returns, kick returns, and things of that nature. He makes plays on offense also, but if you can limit his touches on special teams, that kind of gives him the motivation and the confidence to get going offensively. So, you know, I don't know why he kept leaving the field. I think something may have been wrong with him. He kept going in the locker room and coming back out. I don't know what was wrong, but I hope he's okay because I know he has a bright future.
What did you tell your team just now?
Well, we talked about understanding that this is not it, you know, and I think they said that before I even said anything. At the end of the day, we're excited about this. You know, we're going to celebrate this just like we celebrate any other victory. But at the end of the day, we'll enjoy it, and now it's time to get ready for Alcorn State and get ready to play the conference championship game. We're looking forward to it. We really are.
After the game, I heard the players saying something about my father's house. I'm guessing that's something related to Coach Robinson. Just what do you think he would have to say after a game like this, or how do you think he would feel about you guys?
Well, I think he would feel really well about our guys, but I can't give anybody else the credit for my father's house, because my father's house is talking about Jesus Christ, and each one of our players, you know, they understand they're believers, and our Father's house is our Father in heaven. So that's what this is about. I don't want that to get discredited, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, this is who we play for. This is why we're on display, to show our athletic ability, is to lift up the name of Jesus Christ.